Girl, you are gonna strike some nerves. You're gonna strike some nerves because your skin is glowing, your booty growing, your bag is bigger. Listen, you're gonna strike some motherfucking nerves. They all looking around like, who the fuck she thinks she is? Coming around like she that girl. And is. Bitch, and is. Yeah, sis, keep pushing. Strike one motherfucking nerve at a time. Yeah, fuck this.
All right, my love. So you've been the quiet one, the overlooked one, the nice one in your friend group. Maybe you were the big girl they all treated like a sidekick. But guess what? The moment that you decided to level up your appearance to actually step into your own glow, suddenly everyone has an opinion. Let's really talk about it, okay? Let's talk about it.
I've been fat, I've been skinny, and I've had work done. This has been my experience being all three because I don't think a lot of people get to experience all three in a lifetime. When I was fat, I had a lot of friends. I felt like I had to be nice and really funny, and that got me a lot of friends. And I think it brought out the best quality of people because I wasn't seen as competition. I had a lot of gay friends, I had a lot of girlfriends. Dating wise, I had a lot of hoes, but I also had no standards and I had no boundaries. They wouldn't take me on dates, they would talk about me to their friends poorly. The hoes were terrible in public, but very sweet in private. Then when I lost a bunch of weight and I was skinny, the shift in my friend group started being like, we don't want to hear you talk, just shut up and look pretty. Now dating, when I was skinny, I got a lot of sorries. There was a lot of people who treated me like shit when I was fat that were coming back like, oh my gosh, you look great. They wouldn't tell me I looked great. It was just like, oh, hey, I'm back. Let's go on a date now. So I ended up getting my body done. It wasn't because of anybody else. It was generally for my own happiness. I hated being skinny, not gonna lie. Got my body done and friends started dropping like flies. And I don't really blame the old friends for dropping like flies because it's like now you're dealing with like a whole new person. I could speak my mind because I had a new confidence. I had a new ego. I had way more boundaries because I was learning to love myself finally. And it was just one more barrier that I didn't need to break down to be myself. The people I was dating grew and it was a different caliber of men, but they also just want to show me off as a trophy. Going from not being attractive to conventionally attractive, where people you date want to be seen with you because you're a source of currency, because attractiveness is a source of currency in society. They treat me really well in public, but behind closed doors, they are abusive. They try to humble you. Yeah, a lot of people everybody wants to humble you. If you look good, everybody hates you. And that's just been my experience so far. And it all comes back to just loving yourself. Like, there's nothing you can do. Love yourself. I loved myself the most when I was fat.
All right, so here's the deal. When you decide to transform yourself, when you drop that weight, switch up your style, and maybe even get a little work done, girl, because there's nothing wrong with that, to feel like your best self. You might think that everyone is just going to be happy for you, but no, they're not. Suddenly, you start seeing the side eyes, the snares, the comments, and the oh, don't do too much now that you all cute attitudes. Like, what's up with that? That's what I call the pretty punishment. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and share, girl. And I'll be back at the end with my commentary.
Have you ever felt like your own friend low-key hated how loved you are? It's subtle. She laughs with you, takes pictures with you, she goes out with you, but the moment that you get too much attention, she shifts. When a guy only speaks to you and then suddenly she wants to go home early. When people compliment your outfit and then she says something like, oh wow, you must really think you're that girl today, huh? But she says she's joking. Look, y'all know that weird feeling that you have sometimes to shrink yourself when you want other people to be comfortable? Like, it's like you can be cute, but not too cute. You can glow, but like you can't outshine anybody else. Pretty girl problems are not always from strangers. Sometimes the biggest hate comes from the people who you love the most. The friend who only hypes you up behind closed doors and not in front of people. It can really mess with your head. And then you start dimming your light on purpose, letting her post the best photo. You downplay your own compliments to make her feel safe and just keep your wins quiet and to yourself just to keep the peace. But listen, babe, you were never, ever, ever too much. She was just never comfortable with the way that you are loved by this world. And that's not your burden to carry. I wrote the Pretty Girl Survival Guide for this exact reason, to help girls like us stop apologizing for our glow. It's not your job to shrink for insecure people. If she can't clap for you when it's your turn, she was never on your team to begin with. So if you've ever felt guilty just by being loved, the book is for you. The link to the Pretty Girl Survival Guide is in my bio.
So we all know that pretty privilege is an often discussed topic, but I've lately been seeing the topic of pretty punishment, and I don't think that's talked about enough. Now, some of us are blessed with a light that's literally so bright that it'll draw people in. And oftentimes, it doesn't always draw in the correct company. You'll have people that want to be in your life because you're attractive. They want to see what your life is like. They want to see what you have to offer. But you'll also draw in people who want to come and compete with that and even try to dim that light. Some people really won't like you because you are an attractive person. And if you carry this certain bright aura, that'll make them hate you times 10. And don't be a good person too and genuine. Oh, honey, you're a triple threat. And you'll know these things by how people choose to react towards you. I came across this one saying that said, people are not acting weird. They just never liked you and it's becoming harder to hide. And that literally said a mouthful. And it's crazy because one of the things that I can absolutely not stand in life is weird energy. If you got weird energy, take that mess elsewhere because I'm going to see my way out. That's something that I don't play about. I've had my share of weird managers, weird friends, weird men. And if you shining too much, I'm telling you, they do not like that. Sometimes you may not be invited because you're an attention grabber. I didn't say attention seeker. I said an attention grabber, meaning you can walk in the door and literally all eyes can be on you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything because your presence represents enough. And I'm sure some of us got those family members that we don't talk to and fool with who probably don't want to see you do good either because they either think you better or they either think that you better. And that's nothing that I ever said. That's something that you thought. Now, see me, when I'm stepping out, I'm the person that likes to step out. And I like all my friends to be on the same page. Anybody that's around me or in my circle, I want you to show up as your best self. You don't have to dim yourself down to make anybody feel comfortable. And I'm talking to anybody that ever felt like they've been in this situation. I've had people tell me, oh, well, can you come such and such with me? But you don't have to overdress. You don't have to put on no makeup. You don't have to put on certain outfits. I just got on some sweatpants. And I'm just like, okay. And what that got to do with me? If I want to dress like I'm going to a Met Gala and you want to look homeless, that's on you.
Hey y'all, I don't think people speak on this enough. Pretty punishment is a real thing, and here's why. People will literally have secret competition with you without you even knowing. People will try to project so much on you just because they think you're all this and all that. Literally. People will literally not give you your flowers just because they think that you already received enough. People will love to try to humble you. And people will be mean to you just because you're attractive. Like, you can't help that. People are weird, y'all. It's weird and crazy in this world. Literally.
So we've all heard of pretty privilege, but apparently there's also pretty punishment. And I just didn't know there was a word for it until now. But it's really, really unnerving. Like, the way that I've had people treat me, and I want to say it's because of how I look, just because people don't even get to know me sometimes. They just kind of start assuming things just on sight alone. And it's actually made things pretty hard. Like, I've left jobs, plural jobs, because of that. I've gone home crying from work because of that. It's lost friends. I've lost family or stopped talking to family members because of the way that I get treated by people. And it's really sad. I've had women be weird to me over guys that I'm not even dating, guys that they're not even dating. I had someone confront me in a parking lot, the same one who was pocket watching me, by the way. Yeah. And sent me a bunch of text messages the next day calling me out of my name because I wasn't sharing our friend. And just weird thing. And then I've also had people try to humble me and say things about my appearance, about my eyes, about my skin tone, especially like other black girls saying things to me about my skin tone, which is just so strange. And unfortunately, a lot of the mistreatment that I've gotten has been from other girls, other women. And it's just, it does kind of sting. And I feel like until now, I didn't know what it was called. I didn't know there was a word for it. And I felt like I couldn't really talk about it because I don't want to seem ungrateful, I guess, or even cocky. But Has anyone else experienced it? And please let me know.
And I'm so happy that this conversation is finally starting to take place about pretty punishment, because people used to crucify many girls, including myself, just about talking about the downsides of pretty privilege. Like, okay, well, at least you still got, some type of privilege. Just like, no, the downsides low-key sometimes outweigh the good side. I have lost job opportunities. I have had many failed relationships with friends. I've had failed relationships with men. Like, I can never hold a guy friend to save my life just because they're always wanting to engage in sexual relations. It's not going to work, like, at all. I'm not that type of girl. I've had people be passive aggressive with me for absolutely no reason. At my most recent job that I just left, my manager was a big hater. She was like a temp manager, and she was a big hater of mine, bro. She would be on my dick for anything, like literally any little thing. She was a mega hater, and other coworkers started to call it out too. So I'm like, okay, like, granted, I always know I'm not tripping, but it's like when other people see it too, it just validates it even more.
All right, my love. So let's get right into it for a second. Let's get real for a second. People get way too comfortable when you fit a certain role in their life. If you've always been the invisible friend or the one they could overshadow, your glow up threatens their comfort zone. And the truth is, not everyone can handle seeing you shine. It's a form of psychology I call the pretty punishment. The moment you upgrade yourself, people want to humble you. They want to keep you in the box that they built for you, okay? And it's not just strangers. It could be your friends and your family and even your own partner. The moment that you start investing in yourself, losing that weight, dressing how you want, maybe even getting that plastic surgery to feel like your best self, girl, suddenly the energy shifts. People will say, oh, you think that you are too good now, or don't do too much. Like, you're still the same old Robin. Like, what you hold on now, just because I look good now. Like, you ain't gotta try to humble me just because I decided to invest in myself. Listen, or like I said, or just don't do too much, right? But here's what they don't realize. It's not about them. It was all about you stepping into your own power, girl. So Rych Babes, listen up. Your glow up is about you and you only. If someone's uncomfortable with your transformation, that's their issue, not yours. It's a reminder that sometimes your elevation will require a little isolation, and that's okay. Don't let anyone's insecurity stop you from becoming the version of yourself you've always dreamed of. Like, I've always dreamed of, this, that, and the third. Like, go ahead. Whatever your version is for yourself, go out and get it. I don't care what other people say. They're going to say, and if you don't like my new me, then you was never for me from the beginning. Pretty punishment is just another test of your confidence and your commitment to yourself. So don't worry about letting people fall off. Let them fall off, girl. They was never meant for you anyway. They only liked you when you was in your comfort zone, right? They only liked you when you were the quiet one, the fat one, or you're the one who didn't put makeup on, or this and the third. It's okay. Start becoming the woman that you want to be, and you'll find your tribe, girl. It's all right. And if you are ready to step fully into that power, to build the mindset, the confidence, and the boundaries that let you glow up unapologetically, that's actually what I teach in my Rych Mindset Mastery Course, because real transformation isn't just about how you look. It is about how you feel and how you own your own journey. So girl, listen, the link is in the description box below. It's there when you are ready. Rych Babes is already ahead doing their thing. So my loves, until next time, become the woman who walks in the room and make people wonder. Secure the bag, protect your peace, girl, and stay rich, Rych Babes. Love you.